I love a good challenge, especially in video games. I don't know what it is, but there's something about conquering a challenge after a long time that just feels so good and rewarding. But after playing this game, it has shown me that difficulty can be done well and done horribly. Because this game is ass. And you could say skill issue all you want, but it still doesn't change the fact that the game is horrible, and I'm going to tell you how horrible it is. So strap in, because this is a deep dive on why the game is ass. Let's start off with the basis, the actual game. Jiki-Yaba is a game where you run and jump and get abilities to prepare you for more difficult running and jumping levels. What I don't like is the way the game just forces you to run and get prepared for the spikes and tornadoes that fucking kill you in one hit, even though you're nowhere near them. Let me get this straight. I do not hate the difficulty. I hate the main gameplay thing in the game, and that's you running and more fucking running. What are you running from? Your taxes? Your fucking problems? Your Uncle Jim? Who? This just forces you into a difficult place and then just doesn't give you a chance to breathe and gives you another difficult thing to overcome. Jesus Christ, just let me breathe, please! And why is the game so fast-paced? It doesn't make any sense for a game like this if you want to overcome the challenge. Maybe slow it down a little. And it's not like this game gets better over time. It mainly shits on you for most of the game in a lot of the levels. I just bash my head against the wall just hoping I get to that checkpoint. And this game is not one of those games where you just get better with every attempt. And some will disagree, and that's okay. We could probably talk about how Bloodborne is a masterpiece for 10 hours straight. But I don't think this game does the whole difficulty thing well. For a lot of things that are challenging, I might bash my head against the wall, but at least I have full control over my character and what he does. For games where you're just running fast and going headfirst into a challenge, I think doesn't really work for this type of game, because for me, I think a good challenging game can provide control over everything. I'm not really a fan of autorunners like Jiki-Yaba because I want all of the control. I want to be destroyed by the difficulty, but not the actual bullshit of the game. And you can't really use the get good argument, because how can you get good if all you're doing is running and hoping you win the game? But with games that give complete control over the movement, I would argue you could use the get good argument, because the only way to win is through your own skill and muscle memory. Games that give complete control are way more effective on overcoming the challenge, because you need to use everything in your arsenal to beat the challenging part. But in Jiki-Yaba, you just run into the challenge and hope you win. I know I'm being very negative with the game, but you gotta understand that the game is not fun and it's not replayable. It's just there to piss you off, which can be a very charming thing, but with this game, the charm just doesn't work. When I play a Souls game and see something that pisses me off, it's mainly because of my anger, but when I'm actually motivated to do the challenge, it's fun as hell. But with this game, I don't get that feeling. I get sadness, depression, and all of the above. Please, for the love of God, just save me from the dog shit that is this game. Alright, let me give this game one positive thing about it before I shit on it some more. This game has an established difficulty. Now, most games have a difficulty setting that does add to the challenge, but it really doesn't show people the true experience that the developers were going for. A good example of this is God of War. Now, most people either pick the easiest difficulty or the balanced difficulty. And I'm not trashing on people who do this, but it leads to people not really enjoying certain aspects of the game, like the combat. Don't get me wrong, people clearly enjoy the combat in God of War, but I would argue that the combat is even better if you pick the hardest difficulty, because it's more skill-oriented and adds a layer of freshness to the combat. I mean, can you imagine if Dark Souls had an easy mode? It would take away so much from the experience that the developers wanted you to experience. Now, I think difficulty should highlight what type of experience experience you want your gamers to have. If you want to make a super hard game, then develop a super hard game. If you want to make an easy game, then just make an easy game with some challenging bits to make it fresh. Difficulty shouldn't be an option because in my eyes, difficulty is the experience, and that is the nicest thing I could say to this horrible game. And even when it has an established difficulty, it doesn't really fit the game. This type of difficulty would fit more with a modern Souls-like game. Now I want to give you guys the only good auto runner, and that's Rogue Souls. The game is easy, but the fun in the game is mowing down enemies. It really makes you feel like a badass when you pull off insane shit like this. But the thing about that game is that the fast-paced aspect of the game is actually bearable, but for this game, it's unbearable. I mean, just look at this gameplay, and tell me, would you have fun with this? And the crazy thing is, even when I was winning, I felt miserable because for this game, it doesn't give you time to analyze the situation. Here's the level. Oh, you died? You couldn't see what to do? Oh, just die 100 more times and you'll get through it. And what pisses me off is the reviewers. Now, you can love this game. It's okay to like it. But for God's sake, what do you see in this game? I'm looking at Metacritic and people love it. Let's read some of the reviews. Jiki-Yaba Runner Deluxe, despite being
ostensibly
low budget, is
intrinsically
a lot of fun, offering addictive, simplistic gameplay for a relatively cheap price. Yeah, you're right. It is addictive, but it's also in the same way that jacking off is addictive. But you know it's not good for you. And the part where you said a lot of fun really needs to be analyzed because this game is nothing but misery. It's a fast-paced runner game that is way too unfair gameplay-wise. If you enjoy bashing your head against the wall and getting through something that doesn't even give you the chance to analyze the situation, this game is perfect for that. It's the best auto runner I've ever played. Really now. Its only notable flaw are FPS drops on some levels. Now me personally, I don't remember any FPS drops from my playthrough, but this statement you made here is wrong. Alright, I think you guys get it. I do poke fun of the people who like it, but at the end of the day, if you enjoy the game, you could like it, even if I find it dog shit in my eyes. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And yeah, this was a very nice passion project of a game I did not even like. And if you enjoyed, well, I make stuff like this all the time. You know, some movie reviews and regular, commentary videos and some game reviews. And speaking of that, if you want, there's a video about copyright on the bottom. And the first thing is Gen A, so watch one of those videos because they'll probably, make crack a smile on your face. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Bye.